I wish the opposition questions with some homework done. Who actually monetized the Mumbai-Pune corridor? Was it not the Congress party? Was it not under the Congress party, which was headed by and is even now being headed by Srimati Sonia Gandhi? 8,000 odd crores was raised by that. New Delhi railway station. Who called for the RFP on it? Was it not the Congress party? Somewhere between 2008, 5, something like that. New Delhi railway station. RFP call for was made 27/10/2008. 2008. Who was the Prime Minister then? Who was the Finance Minister then? And I would definitely ask Shri Rahul Gandhi, who, even when the Prime Minister was abroad, when he thought one of the ordinances was so outrageous, he tore it up in front of the media. Did he tear this RFP call for the New Delhi railway station to be monetized? Did he tear this out? If he indeed is against monetization, why wasn't the RFP for monetizing New Delhi railway station torn to pieces by Shri Rahul Gandhi? Is this not monetization? And if this is monetization, then did they sell off the railway, New Delhi railway station? Is it owned by Jijaji now? Does he understand what is monetization? And I took the pains even then for, if I may now admit, the sake of the former president of Congress party, because monetization may probably mean something to him, that we are not selling off. There will be a strict handing back. I said it, and I'm sure many in your media friends will remember that those were words which I uttered. So Congress party can every now and then come up with, oh, you're selling off the country, selling. That's something which they are very good at. They sold air, they sold water, they sold land, they sold mines, and made a lot of kickback with it. From 2014, I challenge, if there's been even an allegation, a whisper of allegation against Prime Minister Modi's government. So to lead people to believe something which is not true, to mislead people. I can give you more examples. Examples of those asset monetizations which happened during Congress period. Please ask him to take it all out and then explain it before you, if that meant selling of those properties. The monetization pipeline that was announced by me day before yesterday, 2 days ago, there is no change of ownership. The ownership is still with Government of India. They are brownfield assets which are almost completed but are underutilized. If government has to utilize it better, it has to be put through monetization process wherein it will be put to effective use with a bit more addition to spruce it up or to bring it up to the level of utilization. So this is absolutely the obvious. You in the media, particularly those who handle the business and finance and everything else, do understand it. I'm sure you will be able to ask the Congress party about the way in which they jump into conclusions and charge the government about, oh, you're selling away everything which has been built 70 years over. Something like that he did say. 70 years over they built. And what did happen during the Commonwealth Games? Within one Commonwealth Games, they finished all that which can be creamed out into the accounts of their cronies. That is their business, not the government of Prime Minister Modi's. On the oil bonds, those media personnel who were with me that day would know that I have very clearly given the details out on the oil bond with an intention of very clearly saying that those years about which the UPA government and the Congress party would normally speak, saying growth was at its best, 5, 6, 7, 8 before the international financial crisis. The economy was doing very well. At that time, for cutting down prices for the convenience of the end user, in those years, oil bonds have been issued. And that is why I deliberately use the word trickery. It is with that intention that I've explained it, saying, if you on the one hand are repeatedly showing data to say the economy was doing very well, and probably it was doing very well looking at the figures, did you have a need to do the trickery? You were reducing price, reduce it. No, but oil bonds were issued and the burden was not on you because you didn't even show it in your budget. And then there is a government which comes later on to pay it. Borrowing is common for every government. I'm not saying no. But the context in which the oil bond was used and the way in which it was used, shown as extra budgetary or off budget, for some other government to come and pay it up, but you say we've reduced the price to the public. It is in that context I've very clearly said, and therefore said, servicing this trickery, my hands are tied. That's not to therefore say, oh, this, even today in one of the newspapers I saw a graph which showed it is just one drop of a huge drop in which there are several other things. You can be sure of one thing, if this government has to say things to you, it will say up front, like the way we've handled the budget 21. That which has to be in the budgetary document will be in the budgetary document. In fact, I've brought, for transparency's sake, things outside which have been kept under the carpet for a long time, even them on board. So then to say, oh no, really, oil bond doesn't really tie your hands up is a different story. 2005, 6, 7, 8, were they doing well or not? At least that's what we are often reminded about. And even in those years, you're not able to do an honest giving of concession to the tax-paying public, the fuel users. That's trickery. And I repeat, that's trickery. And it is that which I explained. And also then said, in the context, because one of your comrades asked me the question, saying in Tamil Nadu they've reduced it by 3 rupees. I said, yes, I fully acknowledge. And I also said there was a white paper issued by that government much before the budget was presented this time. And I clearly made a statement, had only in 2014 the government, after winning the election and forming the government, released a white paper, many of these trickeries would have come out. It is in that context I've used it. I'm not going back on my word. I stand by it. It was trickery.
Ma'am, but is there not a case for reducing the pressure?
I think we should wind
on
up.
the petrol, fuel price matter, I've sufficiently said where it lies. It is not center versus state. It is something where both of us will have to sit and talk to see how best we can take it up.